Because you are worth the story. How Laurel mastered storytelling content strategy. What if I told you that people don't buy beauty products for a beauty alone? They buy the story behind them, and one global brand has turned this idea into content powerhouse. Hey, I am Mehul Brahmbhatt, CEO and founder of Matrix Bricks, and I have helped brands and businesses build digital strategies that actually connect, convert, and last. Today, I will show you how Laurel uses storytelling content to win trust, loyalty, and attention at scale. I have spent over a decade and a half working closely with a brand storytelling, content strategy, and digital growth, and I have seen one clear pattern. Brands that tell real stories always outperform brands that just sell features. And that's exactly where Laurel gets it right. So let's break down how they do it and how you can apply it too. What is storytelling content the Laurel way? Before diving into our campaigns and platforms, we need clarity on the foundation. What is storytelling content? For Laurel, storytelling content is not about promoting a product. It's about expressing identity, confidence, and self-worth through narrative people recognize themselves in. This philosophy becomes the starting point for everything the brand creates and naturally leads to the emotional depth their content is known for. How Laurel defines storytelling content centers on a human emotions, not a product features, uses real people and relatable journeys, reflects diversity and authenticity, builds emotional connection before sales. By setting emotions as the entry point, Laurel ensures every story feels personal and that sets the stage for a message that lasts. Because you are worth it, a story built over time. Once the emotional foundation was clear, Laurel needed a message that could carry it consistently. That's where "because you are worth it" comes in, not as a slogan, but as a long term storytelling content strategy that reinforces belief, confidence, and self value across generations. Why this story endures? One core belief repeated with intention, emotional consistency strengthens trust. Every campaign supports the same narrative. The audience feels acknowledged and valued. Because this message never changes, Laurel's storytelling feels familiar, no matter where or when you encounter it. Shifting the story from the brand to the people. With a strong belief system in place, the next evolution was obvious. The story couldn't stay brand led. Laurel shifted the focus towards the real voices, allowing people to experience the brand through a creators, professionals, and everyday users who genuinely live the story. How Laurel humanized storytelling content, partners with creators and industry experts, showcases authentic routines and results, shares lived experiences instead of scripted ads, builds community led narratives. When the audience sees themselves in the story, trust stops being claimed, it's earned. One story adapted across every platform. As audiences spread across platforms, the challenge became clear. How do you keep the story intact while changing the format? Laurel solved this by adapting its storytelling content to each platform without ever diluting its core message. Platform specific storytelling execution. Emotional short form content on Instagram and Reels. Educational authority led videos on YouTube. Trend driven rock storytelling on TikTok. Purpose led narratives on LinkedIn. The result is seamless experience where the story feels consistent even though the format constantly evolves. How to create storytelling content using the Laurel framework. At this point, the strategy becomes practical. Laurel's approach shows that effective storytelling content doesn't require massive budgets. It requires clarity, consistency, and a clear understanding of why the story existed in first place. Simple framework you can apply. Start with a belief or an insight, not a product. Highlight transformation, not features. Use real voices and honest moments. Keep the message emotionally focused. When you follow this structure, storytelling stops feeling complex and start delivering real impacts. The bigger lesson behind Laurel's storytelling success. When you zoom out, Laurel's success isn't driven by trends or tactics, it's driven by intention. Their storytelling content strategy works because it's rooted in understanding people deeply and communicating with consistency over time. Key lessons for any brand. Strong stories create a long term loyalty. Trust grows through consistency and honesty. Storytelling scales better than promotion. Brands that stand for something last longer. That's why Laurel isn't just remembered as a beauty brand, but as a brand that understands people. Now, I would love to hear from you. What's your biggest challenge with storytelling content strategy? Or figuring out how to create a storytelling content that actually connects? Drop a comment below about your challenges. Remember, great brands don't sell louder, they tell better stories. Hit like, subscribe for more insights, and I'll see you in the next one.